I think as a society, we suffer from a fundamental misunderstanding of where experience comes from and way too much downtime. So in the olden days, and let's face it, none of us know how happy people were in the olden days. Right? There are stories that would indicate people were very happy in the olden days, and other stories that indicate everybody was freaking miserable all the time. But let's go with the idea that people are more unhappy. There is more unhappiness in the world today than there used to be. Well, if I think that my happiness is going to come to me from outside me, that the world should be devoting itself in some way to making me happy, or that I need to find my happiness out in the world. And I live in a world where I have no time to do anything but wake up, tend the farm, and go to bed. It's not going to be as big a problem than if I really can do anything I want with my time. So I can think about it all day long. And when I don't see that actually what sits on top of our well-being is all our thinking, and I'm spending more and more and more of my time either thinking or distracting myself from my thinking, I'm gonna be more unhappy more of the time. Now, since it's unlikely that technology is going to stop working, right? Interesting an idea as it is that we could have a Luddite revolution and old technology would be wiped off the planet and nobody would have cell phones anymore and we'd go back to talking to one another, strikes me as not the most likely outcome. Now, some people kind of go Cal Newport and deep work and how to live without email, and there's a whole movement that I think of Professor Newport as being kind of at the forefront of, that go, we need to really limit our use of technology in order to reconnect to this deeper world. Neat idea, but it seems to me, and this is my experience as well, that if I know that the happiness I seek in life, the well-being I seek in life, the love I seek in life is actually in me. It's just my nature. I am made of it. Not more than anyone else, not less than anyone else. Then I'm simply not going to interact with the world to find it, because I know it's not there. So now I am interacting with the world and with technology from well-being, from love, from peace, from the space within, the quiet within. And maybe it was easier to find that when the world was a bit less noisy, but it's kind of neither here nor there, because the world is pretty noisy. And there are stories that I've always liked about, my favorite story from the Zen tradition was of the monk who went up the mountain and meditated in a cave for 20 years and found pure stillness and pure peace and pure God nature, and recognized that he had become enlightened and came down the mountain to share beneficently with the world. And he comes down and he comes across this mountain village, and there's some kids barefoot kids kicking a soccer ball around, a football around. And the ball gets loose and he kind of comes over to join the kids and, be all enlightened with them. And they start making fun of him because he's been in a cave for 20 years. He looks ridiculous, he smells horrible, and he gets so angry. And then he realizes, oh, my ability to be in touch with this when I was in a cave wasn't enough. I need to be able to be in touch with this in the midst of life. And so that, for me, is the opportunity that living in a noisier world gives us. Is kind of like anyone can be enlightened if they spend enough time in a cave. It really takes something to be enlightened in the midst of the world as we know it.